Hello everybody, here's my VF9. I'm very happy to be one of the first people in Ho Chi Minh City and also in Vietnam, also in the world, to receive this car. And let me show you why this car appears to be so popular.
Hey Tom Ping, love what you're doing on your channel, buddy. Super congrats. You know, giving your time and energy to nonprofit business channel. Look man, keep driving that audience. So Tom Ping, look forward to spending some time with you. I know you got the right mindset, so I'd love for you to share some of that from the big V. God bless, be great. 10X.
This is the third day of owning the VF9, and let me tell you, this car grabs a lot of attention. Everywhere I go with this car, people say, hey, that is a VF9, right? So if you want to get a lot of attention, this is the car to get. For now, I don't know, maybe in the future there's gonna be a lot more VF9s, but right now, today, everybody wanna get a glimpse of the VF9. And let me show you why this car appears to be so popular, because it has presence, all right? Look at that big ass front, all right? And it's got nostrils. It's got two nostrils. It's like a, you know, like a nose. And the reason I guess they did that is because they want to improve the drag efficiency so that the air goes in there and comes out there, and thereby, you know, making the car more efficient. So let me show you the startup sequence, all right? So the startup sequence, when you start the car, look at the lights. It just opens up like that. It looks like a luxury car, right? And it's so fancy. And I think you only get this, you know, with like the high-end BMW, maybe some high-end Chinese cars like the Hongqi EHS9. Like you get this startup sequence. I think that's really, really cool. It adds to the prestige and luxury of the VF9. Because this car grabs so much attention, you know, all the motorbikers, they want to get closer and take a look at the car. And what happened was, on my second day of owning this car, I already got into an accident because there was a motorbiker, got too close and then crashed into my car. And then it left you know, a dent here and some scratches. But and of course we didn't do anything about it. We just let him go. I mean, we're not gonna chase him down and run him over or anything like that. But let's go around the back. So I love this part of the car. Look at how you know, the top, you know, comes in like this, and the bottom, and with the logo here, and this shape here makes the car look very muscular. Reminds me of the Maserati Levante. All right, let's go to the back. And normally with any VinFast car, there's the VinFast branding here, but not on the VF9. And I think that's okay. I think, you know, we don't need to put VinFast here. That logo right there is sufficient to demonstrate to the world, this is the VinFast. This is a Vietnamese-made luxury car. So the startup sequence at the back looks like this. I have to say that it is a beautiful car. It has presence, it's big. That's why, you know, people look at it. And I love the side rails. It helps you get into the car. And I think that's kind of important for a big car like this. And of course, the charging port is right here. The charging port is right here. Fairly standard. I have to say, the build quality of the VinFast VF9 is actually really good compared to what I received in the VF8. I can see that the panels are properly lined up. And I don't see, well, there's a little bit of misalignment here, but otherwise, overall, I would say it's actually quite well built. The panels are quite well lined up. Definitely, this is a demonstration that VinFast is improving in its manufacturing quality. And one more thing I love about the VinFast is the big ass wheels. All right, the big ass wheels, because I already put a little bit of scratch on the wheels, but because it's a really big car, the big ass wheels just give the car more presence. It makes the car look far more sexy than it already is. Let's get in the car and look inside. So to get into the VF9, door handle works a little bit differently. So it works like this. First you press on this side, right? And then the door will magically pop out. And then you grab the handle here and you open it. You know, that's kind of unique and that's kind of quirky. Usually doors don't open like that. The first and second row seats are powered. And then of course you step on the side rail to get in fairly easily. And unlike the Tesla Model X, it doesn't actually help you close the door by itself. You have to grab the handle and close the door like so. So once we're inside, the driving environment looks very much similar to that of VF8. So one thing I noticed is that the center console right here is slightly tilted towards the driver. That's different compared to the VF8. So another really cool feature about the VF9 is the sunroof. So look at this long extended sunroof from the first row all the way to the third row. Actually, there's two sunroofs. So one for the first two rows and another one for the third row. And it gives you great visibility into the sky. And it's actually quite useful for the driver as well. Because in Vietnam, sometimes the traffic light is positioned in such a strange angle that you have to look at the traffic light this way. But with this, now you can look this way. So it gives you better access to seeing the traffic light. And any passengers that get into this VF9, when they see the sunroof, they are impressed by it. This is really, really cool. It's a really nice, cool feature. It adds to the prestige and luxury of the VF9. So in terms of the storage compartment in the front row, well, you got your center console storage, which I'm putting my red box in here. There is a cup holder, two of them in fact, and it comes with a closing lid. And it comes with this fairly cool Ferrari-inspired gear changer, and you can put your phone here. If it supports wireless charging, it'll charge your phone right there. Also, in terms of storage compartment, there's some storage compartment here, and one thing to notice is that when you feel inside, it feels like high quality material. All right, this feels like high quality material here. This is different compared to the VF8. And also VinFast gives you a really thick manual that I will never read, and you can't really put it into the glove compartment because it won't fit, so I put it right here. What other storage compartment is there? There is a bit of storage compartment here. Maybe you know, if you're in the US or Canada, you can put some change in here. There's not a lot of space. Again, like I said, the glove compartment is fairly small. It's not gonna fit a lot in there. And that's about all you get in terms of storage in the front row. So let's hop into the second row and see what's available back there. And also I need to show you how to get out of the VF9, all right? Because traditionally, you have a latch that you pull to open the door, but not the VF9. VF9 gives you a button or a button that you push. When you push, the door pops open and then you just push and then you can get out. But what if the car, for whatever reason, is out of electricity and you can't use this button? Well, VF9 comes with also a latch down here. So in the event that you're out of electricity, right, you can pull this latch and it will open the door. Let's get out. So one more thing that adds to the luxury of the VF9 is the soft closing door. Let me show you how that works. So when you close the door of the VF9, you don't have to slam it, right? Because it will actually close nicely for you. Let me show you how that works. So I just have to gently press against the car. It will close by itself. All right, and it works on all of the doors on the VF9. So soft close, and also this one. Again, that's a really nice feature, adds to the luxury level of the VF9. Let's go look at the second row. And as you can see, the second row also comes with a button. To open the door. Personally, I think that could be a safety issue because sometimes you can accidentally push the button and the door will pop open. right? So I believe there is a button in the front that actually prevents people from opening the door. Now, the second row also comes with power seats in the 6-seat version of the VF9. It comes with front and back. You can also move the backrest back and front. I don't know what these things do. If you know, let us know in the comments below. And notice that it comes with a nice VF9 logo that actually lights up when you open the door, and a VinFast logo here. And what I cannot show you right now is that when you open the door, there's actually a logo that will shine into the ground that shows the VinFast logo. I cannot show you right now because actually it's during the day, but at night it looks really, really cool. Let's get into the second row. So actually, this is my first time sitting in my car in the second row. Let's see how that goes. Oh yeah. So actually, the second row is fairly comfortable. The seats are fairly comfortable, and there's a lot of leg room. And as you can see, there's like 3 fists that I can fit in there, and there's a lot of headroom. I'm not a very tall guy. I'm 167. And yet there's still a lot of headroom here, and I have to say the sunroof really looks cool. I mean, if I'm a passenger and I get into the VF9, the first thing I notice is this beautiful sunroof, right? And I can see everything above me, and I think that's very impressive. And it comes with a light here that I can turn on and off, a handle, which is kind of important because if you sit in my car, you're probably grabbing onto the handle for life. Oh no! Stop! Okay, and there's 2 USB charging ports here. There's actually 2 more in the front in the center console storage area, right? So there's 2 USB port here and 2 in the front. There's also a cup holder that you can open with a lid, and there's space for 2 beverages, and there's a small storage location here, probably for your phone. And also it comes with a center storage area, another 2 USB ports right here, right? Oh, and I believe this is also wireless charging, so you can put your phone here and actually wireless charge your phone. That's pretty cool. And I was told that there is a storage area for maybe your wine, your champagne. They said that this is a cooler, but actually it doesn't come with any cooling function. It's just a storage area for you to put your beverage. So that's pretty cool, right? And very similar to the Tesla Model X, the VF9 comes with a small display in the second row as well. All right, let's go check out the third row. Now, getting into the third row is kind of tricky because this is what you have to do. First, you gotta move the seat to as far front as possible, and then there's a latch here that you pull, and then now you can move the seat down. And then it requires a bit of gymnastics, but you hop on the side rail and you climb into the third row, like so. And then you sit right here. All right. So if I put the seat up, I would say there's about 3 fists of leg room, and actually also ample headroom because again, I'm not a tall guy, but for a taller person, I think it will still be adequate. The thing to notice about the third row is that the seat is actually at the same level as all the other seats in the car, but the floor is actually raised, all right? So that's why you're seeing my knees up like in this position. This may not be a comfortable position if you're on a long journey, but for short trips, I think it's okay, but it will not be very comfortable if you're on a 3 or 4 hour trips to, let's say, Canton, for example. And if you are a girl with really long legs, this is what I see they do. They sit like this. All right, so girls with really long legs, they sit like this, And we actually have a girl sitting here. She has really long legs and she sit like this, and that's what we do to torture girls like that. Right? Okay. And so what amenities do we get in the third row? Well, we have, of course, our AC, our cool air blowing in our face. We have USB port here. We have USB port there, and we get our sunroof here as well. I can see clearly what's above me, and that is really cool. I would say it's not a bad place to be, except for that raised floor. If I sit like this, maybe not so bad, right? Yeah, I think it's fairly comfortable. It doesn't have much seat adjustment options, and there's no massaging seats in the back. And it comes with lights. That's about it. Now let's look at the trunk space. To open the trunk, you can use the remote, or you can find the button, which is somewhere around here. So you look at this V point, you go down, that's where the button is. You press it, and the trunk opens. Of course, with the third row up, you're not gonna get a lot of space. This is all you get, and with our camera team, our camera equipment, as you can see, it's fairly full. But you can push the seat down. To pull the third row down, you find this rope, you pull it, and you push. Same for this one, you pull it, and then you push. Now, you have a lot of space, right? You can also pull down the second row. That gives you a lot of space in terms of storage. So on the side here, you have some power options. So if you need to power your devices, there are some power options there for you to connect to power. And actually there are two buttons to close the back door. One here, one here. All right. So when I was at the Montreal Auto Show, when I look at the early version, the prototype of the VF9, there was only this button. And so what happened was, you press this button and VinFast VF9 will give you 4 seconds. 4 seconds to get out of the way before the back door will close. But now they have this button, but still the 4-second delay is there in the software. So when you press this button, watch, you actually have to wait 4 seconds before the door will close. So that's something that VinFast should look into. If you press that button, you don't need to wait 4 seconds. So something else to improve in the software. And I don't know if the VF9 comes with this feature, because I couldn't get the trunk open, the back door open with this. So if you know whether VF9 comes with this feature or not, comment below, because I can't do it. Oh, how did that happen? I kicked it. Like, I physically kicked it. Let's try that again. All right, I don't know what I did to open the back door. Let's give it another try. I'm not touching this. Kick you. Oh, see? It's not easy, but it's possible. It's somewhere down there. I need to figure this out, all right? Let's do it again. Okay. I think it's somewhere over there. So you need to put your leg like really deep in there. Like, I go like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No? Oh yeah. Oh. Get out. I don't know. How does this work? No, it's a miss. Oh. What the fuck? No, I didn't do it. So if anybody know how to do this properly, let us know, comment below. Next, I want to show you the front trunk. So in order to open the front trunk, there's a latch that you kind of have to pull a couple times. All right, and then lift the front trunk. And it offers you a storage area And of course, if you have any problem with the VF9, here's the access to the battery. And luckily, I don't have to use the 10mm wrench with the VF9 yet, so I hope I never have to. And the fuse box is here. So if you need to access the fuse box for any reason, you know where it is. Very accessible. All right, let's close that. And let me show you the software version that comes with the early VF9, all right? So the version that I have here is actually undefined. So I believe this is one of the earliest versions of the firmware. If you look at driving assistance, you will see that actually there is not a whole lot of features there. This is like back in the early days when VinFast released the VF8. When it did not have any driving assistance features, it's kind of like that. So we're actually waiting for the driving assistance features to be available in the VF9. And otherwise, the software is fairly similar. So it's got the lights, the driving modes, the HUD display, and we have to turn it on. So it's pretty much exactly like the VF8. And of course, your steering wheel adjustments and your cameras. And it's got cameras all around the car. And because the software is very similar to that of VF8, I'm not going to go very deep into it, but it does come with different set of software. For example, it comes with this game Asphalt 9. I believe they included this game just to showcase the processing power of the computer here, because I believe Asphalt 9 is quite an intensive game. It requires a lot of resources. Unfortunately, we can't play it because apparently we need to download something. We can't show you that right now. And with this version of the VF9, it also comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So you can actually connect with your phone. Basically, any app that's compatible with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, you can actually access them here. And if you don't like me, if you don't like the map that VinFast gives you, you can use Android Auto and use Google Map, and you can use Apple CarPlay to use the Apple Map, which is actually quite useful. There is a problem with the current software that's in my car, and that is the Bluetooth does not work. So I have connected many different phones with the car, and unfortunately I cannot get any audio through the Bluetooth. So the only way we can get music, which is important in the car, is by connecting to the Wi-Fi and use the browser that comes with the VinFast. And of course, if we're in Tom Payne's VF9, we gotta listen to Tom Payne VF8 music, right? So So what's special about the VF9 is that it has massage seats, and it has massage seats for the driver, the passenger, and the 2 seats at the back. And I'm talking about the 6-seat version of the VF9. So I don't know about any other version, but for this particular version, I know that the front 2 seats and the second row seats have massage functions. And let me just demonstrate that to you. You have different settings, so you have weak, general, and strong. And you also have different massage modes like wave, cat paw, cross, relief, and jump. So let's try cat paw and strong. And you can feel the seat is massaging you. And I can also do that for our cameraman right here. So I change to the passenger seat. And Mr. Cameraman, Mr. Sun, what massage would you like?
I like jump.
You like jump, okay, you want to jump. So can you feel it, Mr. Sun? Can you feel it? Oh yeah. Yes, you can feel that?
Yes, I can.
Okay, how do you like it?
Không rõ ràng lắm.
Not really?
Yes.
So I would say the massage is not very rigorous, right? It's not very strong. but then that's expected. This is a car after all, you know. You don't want a Thailand masseuse, you know, working on you while you're driving the car. And by the way, the massage seats actually works while you're driving. So initially I thought it didn't, but actually it does. So you can actually drive down the road and the seat is actually massaging you, and that is actually quite cool. Only downside is, you know, maybe you fall asleep. But then if you do fall asleep, there is a camera right here that's watching you constantly, and when you start to doze off or when you start to yawn, the car will actually warn you. You say, hey, wake up, do you need a cup of coffee? Or it'll actually message you something like that on the screen. So that's a cool feature. The VF9 also comes with heater and cooler in the seat. So for example, if I want to cool my ass off because it is really hot here in Ho Chi Minh City, I just set the setting to say 3, and in a few seconds I can start to feel the cool air coming up into my ass, which is kind of important because nobody likes a hot ass, right? Well, actually, I don't know, but I like my ass cool, right? So that's a cool feature, and it works for the first row seats and also the second row seats. So right now today, with the current software, the second display allows you to control the AC, the climate control. So you can set your temperature, you can set your fan speed, and you can also set your massage seat setting. All right, so for example, I want a massage. I want to do, let's say, cross, and I want to be strong. And let's see how that, let's see if it's actually, oh yeah. Let's see if the second row massage is different from the first row, and I would say it's about the same. It's the same. In fact, it's the same experience in the second row in terms of massage compared to the first row. And let's get back to the screen. So the screen comes with media and some podcast apps. That's about all you get. Of course, we want to see more. We want to see maybe YouTube, maybe some video apps, because, you know, we want to watch Tom Ping YouTube channel on this display, right? And that would be really cool. And that would be a feature request to VinFast if we could get some form of video display, play videos in the second row. That would be awesome. Okay, well, let's get on the road and talk about the driving experience. So as always, we need to do the 0 to 100 km/h time test. So right now we're actually at 59% battery power, and which is not going to give us the most optimal time to 100, but we're in the sport mode, and the braking is at the low setting, so that will give us the maximum performance here. And also we have 7 people in the car. Look around us, right? Look like there's actually like 7 people in the car. We're putting a lot of weight in the car, but we're going to test in the sport mode, and we're gonna see how fast does the VF9 go to 100 km/h with all this weight in the car. Let's go. Okay, everybody?
Okay.
Everybody ready?
Yes.
0 to 100 km/h.
Okay.
How fast will it go? VF9, let's go. Woo! 60 and to 100 in 7.64 seconds. Compare that to the advertised speed of almost 6 seconds. So I would say it needs a software update. Let's do let's do another run, okay?
Okay.
Just for you know, let's take an average of. Make sure nobody on the road. We're gonna keep this safe. Everybody okay?
Okay.
Everybody good?
Good.
Let's go. Yeah, 60. What the? 100, 7.81. So we can, I think, safely say that the VF9 with early version of the software runs about 7.8 seconds from a 0 to 100 km/h. You wanna do eco?
Yeah.
Well, popular demand. Let's do it in eco. It's gonna take forever in eco mode. Let's test it in eco mode. So now we're gonna set it to eco. Everybody ready?
Okay.
Anybody need to puke?
No.
No? Okay. Ready?
Okay.
Set, go. Well, it's not slow in the Eco. 7.55. How is this possible? Eco is actually faster than Sport. When you put the whole foot down on the pedal, of course. But want to do another run?
Okay.
Yeah. This is fun. All right, Eco one more time, okay?
Wait 2 seconds. And then go.
All right. Of course, the road is clear. We came to a place where there's no humans, so to keep everything safe. Now, Eco mode, run
Okay.
number 2.
Okay.
Ready, set, go.
Go!
It feels like Sport, honestly. 7.9 seconds, which is pretty much the same. So when you put the whole foot down, basically it's the same, right? And let's wanna do normal?
Yes.
Well, might as well. I suspect that it's going to be the same. It's gonna be around the 7.8 mark. And by the way, we're using a red box. This device is called a red box, and it actually comes with a 10 Hertz GPS unit so that it gives you a fairly accurate measurement of time to 100 kilometers an hour. It has many other functions, and if you're a car enthusiast, this is a device that you should look into, and it measures many things about your car's performance. Now, in the normal mode, are we ready, everybody? Is this fun? Is this fun? Yes, it's like roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go!
Go!
Go! So again, we get 7.8 seconds from a 0 to 100 kilometers an hour. So we can definitively say it doesn't matter what mode you're in. If you put the foot down, right, 0 to 100 is going to arrive in about 7.8 seconds. And hopefully with subsequent software updates, this can be improved so that we get closer to the advertised time of about 6 seconds. And one of the first things I want to show you is that the turning radius is actually quite awful in the VF9. And I'm saying this because it's the honest truth. I'm not trying to defame or damage VinFast, but the turning radius on the VF9 is much to be desired. Let me show you what I mean. We're going to do a 3-point turn on this road, which is actually somewhat narrow. And because the car is actually excessively long, so we have to be very careful not to hit anything in the back. And then, well, we can't actually do a 3-point turn here because we have to make it into a 5-point turn, maybe, or even 4-point turn. And now we can get out. This can be a problem when you go into malls, when you go into underground parking, when you have to go into a turn, and that can be quite challenging because you might be scratching against the walls because the turning radius for this vehicle is not excellent, let's just say that. Now let's get on the road. And of course, we need to talk about the range, all right? So I have this car for about 3 days now, and in that 3 days I put about 200 kilometers on the car. And one thing I noticed is that it's very electricity hungry. So when I drive like myself, like Tom Payne, then the battery goes down really fast. In fact, yesterday it was down to 4%. Oh, I have to pay attention to the road. Yes, I know that. I am watching the road, come on. Okay, right? So I have to pay attention to the road. This car is very electricity hungry. So yesterday I was down to 4%. So I got a bit nervous, so I have to find a charging station. Eventually I ended up at VinCom and then spent a few hours there to charge the car up. I believe the reason is that it's on the very first version of the software. It has not been optimized. So we're not going to test the range of this VF9 for now. I'm going to wait until the software update to give its range test. Let's go through all the negatives first, right? The other thing I did not really appreciate about the VF8 is the bumpiness of the ride, okay? So is it better than the VF8? Yes. And does my passengers say that it's better than the VF8? Yes, they do say that. But when you compare to other luxury cars like the Mercedes, like the Bentley, it's still some ways off. It's bumpy still, particularly in the third row. And Mr. Tai, would you like to share with us your feelings about the third row? I think you have never ridden in my VF8 and this is your first time riding in the VF9.
It's true. I think the third row is somewhat more bumpy than compared to the passenger seat in the second row.
Have you sit in the second row?
I am right now.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so third, yeah, go ahead.
And the second row I feel is much more comfortable with spacious leg room, and also the bumpiness is not as bad, as terrible as the third row.
Okay.
And the third row, like you said, the floor is high, so it makes the experience of sitting at the third row is not really comfortable, and with the bumpiness as well. So
Okay.
I don't think the third row is
a great place to be. It's
Yes.
not a great place to be, right? So I feel the same way. I think there's something that VinFast probably can improve on in maybe their Gen 2 or Gen 3 cars. That is to improve the quality of the ride. I don't know what kind of suspension they use in the VF9, but I suspect it's coil spring or spring coil. Of course, cannot compare to say air suspension of the high-end Mercedes or Bentley, but I think that's one area, if improved, this really makes this car a perfect car. All right, now let's get on to the positive, all right? The positive about driving the VF9 is that it feels powerful, just like any VinFast electric cars. It feels more powerful than it really is. So 402 horsepower in the VF9 Plus. Frankly, it's adequate for a car of this size. And we tested the speed. It's about 7.8 seconds to get to 100. I believe that can also be optimized. And frankly, what does my passenger feel when I put the foot down? Does it feel like exhilarating, exciting?
yeah, it's really fast. Like when you accelerate,
Yeah.
like my entire body just like this.
You mean like you get pushed back into your seat, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so that it's got oomph, it's got power. So, and I do feel that way as the driver as well. So there's ample power for Vietnamese roads, and there's ample power in probably any situation you need to handle. All the VF9s, whether it's the Eco or the Plus, are all-wheel drive. So that means one motor in the front, one motor in the back, gives you a total of 402 horsepower. This also means that it's a very stable car because the battery is low in the car and it's all-wheel drive, so it drives very, very stable. In fact, it's really fun in the corners. But first thing, let me demonstrate the turning radius again, right? So I'm gonna make a U-turn here. I'm gonna be in this lane because we're gonna make a very wide U-turn because it is the VF9. So I'm gonna make a U-turn now. So with a full lock of full turn of the wheel, it's basically, you know, this wide of a road. Basically, it's just enough to make a U-turn. So the turning radius of the VF9 is not excellent. Let's just say that. But that's also expected because of the size of the car. So the car actually handles really well in a turn. For example. Right? Do you feel that? I was, you know, do you feel that? Well, I feel I was, I feel like I was in full control. That was in full control, right? So this is what I mean. The car actually is very controllable, even turning a bit of a high speed, right? So it's pretty cool because again, low center of gravity, all-wheel drive makes this car very stable, very controllable, and that's definitely a plus. Also, I have to comment about the steering, right? This is standard VinFast steering. I'd say it's very precise, very easy to maneuver. And I feel that, you know, I basically just have to point the car in any direction and it will just go there, right? It's just so responsive. It's very responsive, right? Right? Do you feel that way? The car just turns on a dime. You get it, right?
We get it, please.
You want to do again?
No,
right? It just basically, right? It turns on a dime, and it's very accurate. It turns on a dime, and it's very accurate. I love the steering in the VF9.
Who fell off the seat?
Who fell off the seat? Why are you dressed like that, Miss Fung? In the car. Are you not hot? We didn't turn the AC on because you know we don't want the sound, right? What, Mr. Thai? You know, I'm old, so my ear doesn't work as well. But how do you feel about the soundproofing of the car? Can you hear much of noise from the outside, from the tires? Of course, there's no engine noise.
Yeah, there's definitely no engine noise, but you can actually hear the bumpiness on the road, which I think is good because it can help us listening to the road, and it eliminates all the traffic noise, and so I think it's definitely a plus.
I tend to agree with you that you know, generally it's fairly quiet in the cabin, but whenever we run over, let's say, bumps, we do hear noises, right? Like for example, we're gonna hear some noise right now, right? Any kind of obstacles in the road, you can hear it, but otherwise it's fairly quiet. Some people complain about the tire noise coming from VinFast cars, but personally I never actually feel them. I don't hear them, they don't bother me. I think it's a very quiet cabin. The only issue I have with not just the VF9 but also the VF8 is that the suspension is kind of bumpy, and when you drive over uneven roads, it does make a bit of a noise. So those are the things that, again, like VinFast can improve on, I believe, in their future generations of the VinFast. So Mr. Thai, any other comments?
I think one negative things about this VF9 is the sunroof. Even though it looks very luxurious, it looks very nice, but when with the weather like in Vietnam, like in Ho Chi Minh City, especially in the middle of the noon, the heat from the sun can be overwhelming, even when with the AC turned on. So I think it might consume more electricity because of the imbalance of temperature in the car.
I see. Well, I think that's a good point because with this open sunroof, right? It's gonna keep the interior temperature warmer, and it's gonna trap heat in here. So you gotta use more power to the AC. I think that's a very valid point. But you know, VinFast do sell like they will sell a shade, a cover, but we have to buy it. It's not available right now. But I'm not sure whether I will. We'll figure it out because I kind of like it. I kind of like it like this. All right, so that's it. That's the VinFast VF9 honest review. We tell you the truth. All right, we tell you all the truth. If you get offended, well, there's nothing I can do about it because that's what we do. So look into the VF9. I think it's overall a great car. I know I'm going to drive this car most of the time. This is now my favorite car, and I'm going to drive it as much as I can so that I can give you more feedback as they improve the software, and I believe there's a lot of room for improvement there, and give you more feedback when those things happen. Especially, we want to test the driving assistance features in the VF9. So take some fucking action and
Don't be a fucktard.